Hello, teaching friends. Welcome back to my channel. I am Teacher Stephanie from teachingstephanie.com, and on this channel, you will find all things about finding the fun with online teaching. You can follow me along on Instagram for daily things with what I'm doing with my classroom, teaching with Outschool, teaching with VIP Kid at Teaching Stephanie. So let's get to today's episode of Online Teacher Talk. In this episode, I am interviewing Teacher Natalie Wright. She is the ed tech wizard on Instagram, and she is the expert when it comes to things about using technology in your online classroom. She's the guru for Google Slides, Nearpod, Kahoot, what you need to do to have those teaching tools in your toolbox, how to use them, what to use them for. She's the girl you want. In this episode, we are talking about Nearpod, using Nearpod, some of its features, and how she can help you with creating lessons for Nearpod. I hope you enjoy this. She is such a great teacher and really knows her stuff when it comes to the tech side of teaching online. So I hope you enjoy this interview, getting to know her a little bit of her background in teaching and what she can do for you with using technology in your classroom, specifically using Nearpod. Let's get to the interview. Hello, everybody. I'm here with Teacher Natalie for another online teacher talk. I have to always think about the title, Online Teacher Talk episode. You can check out the other episodes on my channel in the playlist, Online Teacher Talk. We're going to talk with Natalie about her experience as an online teacher and what she focuses in on. And make sure you go check out her channel. I'll leave all of her resources and links below in the description box. But let's go ahead and get started. Natalie, tell me about your background, what your education is in, where you started.
Okay, so way back in high school, I always knew I wanted to be a teacher. So that made it nice. Right after high school, I could just jump into college into the teaching program. So I got my degree in special education. So I taught to resource for 4 years at a brick and mortar school. It was a lot of fun. It was hard work as well, but
Yes.
I absolutely love the teaching. So, but yeah, I knew I wanted to be a teacher ever since high school, just a couple classes here and there. So that's how I got started with teaching. And then after 4 years and 2 kids, I decided to stay home with them. And that was a great decision on my part, but I still love teaching. So I'm like, how do I do both, but do both well? Because I feel like teaching online or teaching brick and mortar school, it's a job, obviously, but then it just takes away from being a mom. So I wanted to find that good balance. So that's how I found online teaching. So I can not teach as much, but I still get that fill my cup with teaching. So I love it.
Yes, we have very similar backgrounds. I did the brick and mortar teaching as well, had my babies, and I'm like, I gotta stay home with them, but I gotta keep teaching. I think that so many people in the online teaching world, they want the flexibility and being able to work from home, and still teach kids. Such a blessing.
Yes, it is. I love it. I don't know if I'll ever go back.
Yes, I'm the same way. I'm like, I miss the in-person teaching. It's so different, but having been able to teach online and to still make those connections with kids and still be able to teach them things, I'm like, oh, it's so good. It's so good. So I love the balance of that it provides, just like you were talking about. So tell me about how you got started with online teaching.
So it was my first summer off, quit. Then I started looking for online teaching jobs, and that's when I found VIP Kid first, actually. And I taught with them for a year and a half. And that was awesome because with small kids, then I could, it was early morning hours. So, and it was all done before they even got up. So that was amazing for the balance for their families.
Right.
But then I guess I can say I jumped on the Outschool wagon. Everyone was talking about it. So I'm like, oh, let's see what this is about. So, and that was last summer. So I've almost been teaching a whole year. This summer will be a year with Outschool. So
Awesome.
yeah, that was a lot of fun. Everyone started talking about it. So I researched it and I'm like,
I did the
Nice to
same
meet
thing.
you.
It was like, oh, this is so cool. This is so awesome and so
Yeah.
fun. And I started with VIP Kid too.
Mm,
I know a lot of people are using that to kind of supplement, their teaching time. I'll do a little bit of VIP Kid. I can just easily fit those lessons in. Don't have to create anything.
yes.
They can do a little bit of Outschool where they're teaching their passions, their expertise, different time zones. So
Uh-huh.
it's so awesome that you get to do both. And I love having both of them on my resume. I think it's a good thing. So funny. We're basically twins. We have the same teaching journey.
That's
And
awesome.
I love it. And so you talked about you teach with a VIP Kid in Outschool. Do you have any other teaching companies that you're with?
Those are the only two.
Eh,
And as of right now, I'm not teaching with VIP Kid. As
Not
of
with
like
VIP
two
Kid.
months ago. 2 months
Awesome.
ago, I just quit that one.
All in with Outschool.
I am. I am.
Awesome. And what do you teach on Outschool? What are your classes?
Math. I teach math. It was my favorite subject. Teaching with special education. But when I taught special education, it was math, reading, and writing. Those were my main topics I taught, and math was my favorite. So I love like the teaching different strategies that you might not see in the mainstream classroom. So I kind of twist the math strategies I teach a lot. So a lot of my classes have to do with multiplication and division. I have a
Awesome.
couple of adding classes here and there, but those are my
So
main
great.
focus.
I think that's so great. And it's always whenever you say something like, oh, I love math, people are like,
Yes.
why? you know,
Uh-huh.
what's wrong? But
But
I
I'm the
love
teacher
it.
who's going to make it fun. Like
Yes, that's the
math is
thing.
fun. So let me show
I
you how
can
it's
see
fun.
it lights you up when you talk about it. And I can only imagine, your classes, you're like, get ready for math.
Yes.
So excited for that. And that's such a good thing. I think the coolest thing with Outschool is teaching your passions, and kids get to see that lighting you up
Mhm.
versus, in brick and mortar teaching, you have to teach all these subjects. Some of them you don't like as
Yes.
much. And the kids totally pick up on that. Mine was, reading and writing. I was like,
Mm.
okay, let's hurry and do this so we can get to science.
Science
Let's
is
hurry and
best.
do this. So, it's just kind of funny, but because you're teaching your passions, your expertise, it lights you up. And you can see that when you're talking about it. It's so cool. So I met Natalie. Actually, I think I met you first at a VIP Kid meetup at Chick-fil-A.
Yes, it was. Yes, it was.
It was so fun. That was my first and only meetup because then like COVID hit and
Mine
like
too, actually.
that was my only time, but I was like, oh, how funny. I met Natalie there first
Uh-huh.
and started following her on Instagram and things like that. Then she joined Nancy Taylor's Beyond Teaching Online membership, where I'm a coach. And it was so fun. I was like, I know Natalie. We live kind of close. And
You know,
so
which is
we're
it's
both,
crazy how similar we are in
I know.
our
And like,
cards. It's crazy.
and it's kind of why we can be BFFs. We we've
Exactly.
got we've got a lot of similarities, and it makes it so fun though to see some teachers are the traditional. I got my teaching degree. I knew I wanted to be a teacher. I taught with VIP Kid. Now I'm on Outschool, and then you
Mhm.
hear these other stories. I did an interview with Leah Sparrow. She's like, my background's in radio. I teach about horses. Like it's totally different. And I love that about online teaching. It's
Yeah.
so great for these kids to have a variety of backgrounds and going, look, there's somebody else that can teach you something, not just, us traditional teachers, even though we're pretty great.
Yes, we are.
It's so great to have those. So I love hearing about the different experiences and
Yeah.
backgrounds. But I met her there. I recently was able to take a workshop with Natalie. She is like the tech person when you think about online teaching and all the things you have to learn. Manicam, Canva, Google Slides, Nearpod, Quizzy, Kahoot, like all these things. And I get overwhelmed just thinking about that part of it. She's your go-to person. So go follow her, especially on Instagram and YouTube, because she's got a great library of resources. And on
Mhm.
Instagram, a daily advice and tips and tricks on here you go. Here's a simple way to do this. And it's made it way less overwhelming for me.
Good.
One way she did that was in this Nearpod workshop she recently did. I took it, was it this week? Yeah, this week.
Yeah.
And it was so helpful. She walked through what the student sees, what the
Mhm.
teacher sees on their end, how you can implement these activities. And it was so helpful for me to learn Nearpod and gave me so many ideas on what I could do. So could you show us what Nearpod is, maybe a little taste of Nearpod and just walk us through that?
Yeah. Yeah. I'd love to.
Awesome. So
Okay, can you
cool.
see that?
Yeah.
Okay, so here's this is Nearpod, and this is a lesson I've created. This is the preview view. So you can get a taste of what the students will see and some activities I put in. So this is actually one of my math lessons I have. And I chose this one because I just taught this one the other day. And so it's all division strategies. That's what we're reviewing in this lesson. So we have a memory test. This one, it's just like memory. The students have to find that matching picture. So here I have the division strategy. That's where they're matching. And they just click to find it.
So
So that
fun.
one's a lot of fun. They have this one, it is a matching activity, but it's different than the memory one I just showed you. So here I can have a picture of like the one concept matching it with like the math equation. So those two, oops, obviously don't match, but I can mix and match what they are matching. So like term to definition, capital
Great.
letter to lowercase letter, any kind of matching like that, I can mix it up.
Awesome. I love that.
The kids love it. It's so cool.
And they're because I wasn't sure on this.
Yeah.
So when they're doing it, they're the ones actually clicking.
Yes.
So like if you have a student like John and Mary and Jacob, they're all individually playing their own game, right?
Absolutely. Yep. It's all on their own device and they're doing it at their own pace. And you as a teacher can see it's different view what you're seeing versus what the students are seeing, but you can see how many tries it's taking them to get all those matches. So you can
Awesome.
see what they're working on.
I love that. And I love how interactive it is for them. You
Yeah.
know, I've done lessons where I'm just showing them, I'm clicking it and I'm doing it for them as they guess. But I love that they get to do that. They get to play on their own and
Mhm.
it makes it so fun for them.
Yeah. And it gives everyone a chance to answer. So it's not just the loud students you have in your class who are answering everything. Everyone gets the chance to answer and show you what they know.
Yes.
And draw is one of my favorites because if it could be like a worksheet handed to them, absolutely just put it on this draw it screen. So everyone has the chance to work on it. So you have all these fun options for a pen, highlighter, and then students can complete the math problem. They can
That's so great.
write words. You can trace words here. It's amazing. If it could be on a worksheet, put it in this draw it slide.
I love that. I love that. And then they don't have to worry about printing it off, bringing
Yeah.
it, losing it.
Yes. Completing it before class even starts.
Yes.
Yes.
I love that.
This is the same one, draw. So this is just a Canva, an image I created in Canva and uploaded it for the draw slides. And then here's another matching activity. You can see how I did equation and I'm matching it to the answer. That's what I did here. And students, yeah, they just click on it and it'll turn green. They know when they got it right.
Awesome.
Awesome. And then here's a draw slide. I just left it blank because I want them to absolutely draw all of the groups that they need to solve it. So that's an option too. Just whatever you're talking about, draw me a picture of it.
There's their own whiteboard right there.
Yeah.
They have their own.
And I know when students are on like a Chromebook, they don't have access to the Zoom annotate features.
Right.
But here on Nearpod, absolutely, they can draw.
Oh, great.
You
I love that.
Yeah, they don't have those restrictions. This one's fun. It's a collaboration board. So I have a question here, and then students, they type in their response and click post, and it pops up on little sticky notes. So you can see
cool.
everyone's response. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. I can totally see. I had a lot of kids in my classes that they're really shy. It's kind of hard for them sometimes when they're on camera, just like we think of, oh, I don't want to be on camera. They get really shy. And I don't know if they don't understand or if they're just shy. So I can see this totally being a great tool to go, just type it in. Just
Yep, type in your
answer
answer.
and you don't have to talk or go off mute.
Nope, you don't. It's awesome. I think another example of a draw it slide, I've written out the problem. Students just have to fill in the answer. And I can see as they're drawing, I can see them as they are drawing. It's a lot of fun.
That's really cool.
Time to Climb is a really fun game. I usually save it to the end of my classes. And in preview, it doesn't show you exactly what it is unless you're actually playing with it. But students get to pick their own character, several characters to choose from, so they get their own like avatar. And you as a teacher can pick different themes as they're climbing up the mountain. So it's a really simple game, but students, as they answer the right question, they are climbing up the mountain. And as they get answers right and answer them fast, then they climb the mountain faster. So
I
they can
love
see
that.
all the students climbing the mountain. They're like, well, I'm going to beat you, or I'm climbing faster. It's a lot of fun.
That is so fun. It's a
Yeah.
little bit like Kahoot, but I love the visual of going up the mountain
Huh?
and they have their own avatar, they have their own little
Yep.
thing. So I love that. And
Yeah.
it's all in one place, with
Yes.
your lesson. So you don't have to do a separate Kahoot, you don't have to do a separate Google Slides, a quiz, all of those things. I love that it's all in one thing.
Uh-huh. Yep. Go here, and that's your lesson. Not, I'll put the link in the chat box. Now go find it. Okay, here's
Yes.
another link. Now go here. Okay, come back. Yeah, it's all in one. So, and this is just like a taste of, there are so many activities.
Yes.
This
And
is just
that's
a couple.
going through and hearing, about all these different things. Just a few that you showed me, I was like, wow, this is mind blowing that I can do all of this in one place.
Mhm.
And it was so exciting to go, I don't have to, create 50 different things. I can do it all in one spot and make it so interactive for the kids where they don't have to bring anything. They don't have to, find different links and all of that. It just made it super, super helpful. Well, thanks for
All in
sharing
one.
that. That
You're
was
welcome.
so great to get a little taste of it. Natalie has awesome videos already on her YouTube channel walking you through Nearpod, so definitely go check those out. I will leave her channel down in the description box.
Mhm.
But an exciting thing that we're kind of doing together is, along with my custom lesson plans that I can create for you for Outschool, Natalie's doing custom Nearpod lessons. So I'll let you tell about that experience.
Yeah. So what that would be, you bring your lesson plan. So Stephanie does the lesson plan part, and then the Nearpod activity, I absolutely create custom Nearpod activities. So with your lesson, I can create the images on Canva and then upload all of that stuff to be with what your lesson plan needs. And I can add in all those activities for you. And then that's the Nearpod lesson. And then you can just take it and run from there and teach your lesson on Outschool. But you didn't have to worry about, oh, how do I learn Nearpod, or how do I do this, and spend all of that extra time on the tech side of it. I love creating Nearpods. So much fun to
Love it.
just create all those images and then add in, oh, this activity would be great for this. The matching activity would be great for this part right here in your lesson. And the draw it slide, oh, we can add that right here in your lesson. It is so much fun and I love doing it. So yeah.
Love that. I'm so excited. I think this will be so great for so many teachers. They come to me going, now, can you create this part for me? And I go, no, I don't do that part. What I create for them is, the whole class listing form
Mhm.
and a plan that walks you through pacing, what activities you will be doing when, kind of structuring it appropriately for the age group. But Natalie's going to take those and put them
Mhm.
into a lesson for you. So one thing that's great about VIP Kid is they do that. Now I feel like we're adding that a custom lesson for you, all done for you. So you just show up and teach it with Outschool. So kind of taking that hard, cool part with VIP Kid, putting it into Outschool. So you can do
Mhm.
that. I love
Yeah.
it. Well, could you walk me through a little bit of the experience with what it would look like if I was your client? Like,
Mhm.
what would happen if I signed up to do a custom Nearpod lesson?
Yeah. So first, there I'll have a like a consultation Zoom call with you. You'll bring your lesson plan and we will go over it. We'll figure out for me the age range you're teaching, what lesson, what is it about, so we can start talking about ideas for what would be good in your Nearpod lesson, and like the themes you're going for, all of that good information that I would need. And then from there, I will take that information and create your lesson on Nearpod with all of the activities in it. And then after I'm done creating all those activities and you have it back, you're like, yes, this is awesome, I'm ready. Then you get another 30-minute call with me where I will show you how to use it. How are you going to share it with Zoom? So you are prepared to use this awesome, awesome activity and lesson you just got. Because I want you to be prepared for it. So you'll Yeah, I'll walk you through this is how you're going to use it with Zoom, how you're going to share it with your students to set you
Awesome.
up for
I
success.
think that is the golden goose egg. Like that is the perfect part of this whole
Yes.
service is that you're going to show me what to do.
Mhm.
Because I think that's one of the hardest things is not knowing how to use it all and to go, okay, you've made this amazing lesson plan for me. Now, how do I use it?
Yes.
What do I
Yes,
do?
that's
So I love that part of it. I think that's so great. Well, is there anything else you would like to share with, your service or anything like that with what you do with these custom Nearpod lessons? Anything else?
I don't think so.
I think you did a good job explaining
yeah.
it all, giving us a taste of Nearpod. I hope everybody's like pumped up about Nearpod. Like, and you can leave a link in or a comment in the comment section of this video. How would you use Nearpod? What would you
Yeah.
do? Because there are so many cool things on there that I was like, this is a game changer for online teachers. They need to be using this.
Uh-huh.
I love it. Well, I'll leave all of Natalie's things in her Instagram handle, email, website, YouTube channel, and how to book a consultation in the description box down below so that you can get a hold of her. And if you have any questions, be sure to comment down in the comment section as well. And I'll be sure that Natalie sees it and she can answer your questions,
Yes.
all things Nearpod.
I'd be happy to answer any questions you have about Nearpod.
Yay!
Any
Thank you
questions.
so much, Natalie. I would love to hear your best advice for new online teachers.
Don't be afraid or scared of the technology piece because there's a lot of technology that goes into online teaching. You're using Zoom. How do I use Zoom? And then, oh, now I need to, use something else to make it interactive. Don't be scared of it because it's not scary. As soon as you learn how to use it, then your online teaching experience is going to be that much more enjoyable. So work with technology, not against it.
I love that. I love that. And you do such a great job of breaking that down on your channel and going, okay, let's start here. This is what you do. These are the features, and you make it way less scary. I'm the person that's like, I love teaching and I'm good online, but I'm just going to have my presentation and me. That's all I got to do. And you made it so much more accessible and less scary. So I think you do such a good job of that. All right, to wrap up, I would love it if you could share your favorite quote.
Yeah, I love. So I want to say it word for word, and I have it right here. I believe Walt Disney said this, and I love all things Disney. And he said, "Don't miss out on something great just because it could also be hard." So I think that ties in perfectly with my side and the tech things of things. Just because it looks hard, don't miss out on it because it's so cool.
Right.
I love that quote.
Yes, and you think about, if you were to think of all the work that would be put into making movies, making a theme park, and he said, nah, that's too hard.
I know.
What would we have missed out on? So
Yes.
think about that for yourself. You can have the big dream, but don't stop because it's going to be hard. So I love that quote. That's great. And Natalie, thank you so much for being on here. I'm excited for people to work with you and for me to kind of collaborate with these custom lessons and Nearpod lessons. I think they're going to be so great and really a game changer for these Outschool teachers. All right, I'll talk to you later.
Thanks, Stephanie.
That is the end of the interview. I hope you enjoyed listening to Natalie and hearing about what you can do on Nearpod. I know that when I took her workshop this last week, I was able to learn so much and my mind was blown about all the things I could incorporate into my lessons to make them interactive for the students all on one platform. It was so helpful. And I know she can do the same for you with her custom Nearpod lessons that she creates. So be sure to check her out. I'll leave everything in the description box, like I said, and definitely go check out her channel so that you can see how to use all things technology in your online teaching classroom. If you liked this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. And if you have any questions for Natalie, for me, any comments, anything you learned, be sure to drop it in the comment section. We would love to hear from you and get feedback on what you thought of this interview, what you learned from it, and anything you liked. Be sure to subscribe to my channel so that you know when a new video drops, including online teacher talk, so that you can learn from other teachers and their expertise as well. Thank you so much for watching this interview with Natalie. And remember, as my hero, Mr. Rogers says, let's make the most of this beautiful day. Goodbye.